Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. We are just less than 48 hours out to kickoff of the very first playoff game this season. And couldn't be a better time to do some best ball strategy, some best ball drafts. So that's what we are going to do today. I am your host, StatATL. We've been going live at 5 Eastern here for the past, about 12 days or so. Tomorrow will probably be the last stream. We may try to squeeze in kind of an emergency type stream. Shout out to the Degenerate75. Hope you're doing well, my friend. I think we may try to do an emergency type stream, maybe noon on Saturday. Draft a couple last minute in the gauntlet in the mitten 3, depending on fill rates and depending on how far along I get into my exposures. So again, I'm your host, StatATL. If you haven't already, you're joining us for the first time, please like and subscribe to this video and to this channel. I've got my own channel at StatATL on YouTube. You can find it down in the description if you're watching on the 1 week season feed. Would love for you to follow that page as well. We'll be putting out some best ball content as the regular season ramps up for 2025 in the spring. For those of you joining us for the first time, we'll talk through some strategy. I'll answer your questions. And we're going to rip a couple of live drafts. So if anyone is interested in drafting along with me today, it is just me today. I know we've had some special guests the last couple of days, but just me solo today. We're going to do a draft here in the mitten 3 over on Underdog. I am firing that bad boy up now. So if you are interested in trying to draft along with me, the water is warm. Come on in. It is 3 of 6 filled, 4 of 6 filled and filling. Just setting up my screen for those of you who have been along with us the other days. You guys know I like to do this split screen action. For the draft, I find it easier to kind of follow. And we should be good to go. So let me share the screen back. We have drawn the 5 hole here. And so one of the big things to kind of remember as you're doing these drafts is specific to the contest, specific to the structure. The mitten 3 has different advancement rates than the mitten 1 and mitten 2 did. The mitten 3 is only 1 out of 6 advance out of the first round, and then followed by a 1 out of 10 in the second round, and I believe 1 out of 5 in the third round to like a 300 or 400 person final. But something to kind of keep in mind with only 1 out of 6 advancement rate, it is even more difficult to try to advance a double bye week team. So for those of you who are doing a bunch of drafting across different platforms and maybe even just different contests on Underdog, be conscious of the contest that you are drafting in. As to me, you really should be, let's go Mahomes here. You really should be conscious of that. I would not advise against building 2 bye week teams with 5. I wouldn't start out with 5 straight 2-week bye players and then hope that you're going to be one of the top. You're going to have the top score in your pod to advance. I think that is a low likelihood outcome. So we are going to start here with a Mahomes Barkley build. 6 hole goes Henry Jefferson. 4 hole starts off Gibbs, Amon-Ra. I always like to kind of see you push the quarterback here when you've got quarterbacks taken by 1, 2, 3. I think it's a big mistake to try to grab Jared Goff there at 9. If one of the top 3 spots does take a second quarterback, obviously that does suck a little for you, but your expected value of taking Amon-Ra St. Brown and really pairing up Gibbs and St. Brown theoretically with Goff on the way back is so much stronger. So I do like that start for the 4 spot Spinosaurus. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Number 1 goes Allen, Devontae Smith, Khalil Shakir. We've not just because I've got Barkley. I've talked about how I don't love Devontae Smith as just kind of like a one-off piece. Just because if it is Buffalo, Philly in the Super Bowl, like there will be stronger teams that are built around Jalen Hurts, or the Josh Allen drafter gets AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I've done it several times myself. I've watched it happen many other times. I just think it's a mistake to just grab one, even if you're able to grab Dallas Goedert. I'm not a fan. Bold strategy by Spinosaurus. I don't mind it over here. We'll grab Worthy here. Don't want to take the chance. I mean, you're expecting that the 6-speed, the PBJ over here is not going to go Jameson Williams, Jared Goff, but he certainly could. He's going to stick with his Minnesota build. I'm going to reach a little early on Goddard here, just because we've got 2 different drafters that have Eagles to my left. I think it's really, I know his ADP is 29, which is right at my spot here at the 5-6 turn. I think it's very unlikely he would have come back to me there. So kind of paying attention to the board, I think, is one of the things we talk about almost every day, of kind of an underutilized thing. I think that people just don't pay attention enough to what's going on around them. Pepperatoni says, howdy. Pepper, thank you for joining us today. Let me know if you are able to hop into a draft with us. Would love to kind of give some feedback, answer any questions that you may have. 4-hole pushes Goff again. Don't mind it. I think it is a little risky, but don't mind it. I personally wouldn't do it as often in a room that has less badges, where you're kind of pushing it to the 1 and the 2 hole over here, who are both less experienced drafters. I wouldn't be shocked to see one of them take off. But it looks like he's going to skirt through. He does not need to fear me taking him just because I've got Mahomes, so it would be very futile to take a second quarterback in Goff, because I'd have to end up taking a third quarterback as well, because Goff wouldn't solve the bye challenge. So I'm going to take Hollywood here. Got a Kansas City, Philly start going here with Barkley and Goddard, with Mahomes, Worthy, and Hollywood Brown. So 3 folks with a bye. I could consider a 4th Chief later, maybe in the 8th or 9th round, kind of depending on how the board falls. But we'll kind of see. Most EV in my favorite contest ever made. Yeah, Underdog has done a great job with their contest. Lots of different price points, different advance rates, different tournament sizes. I do love how almost all of their tournaments are much flatter payout structures than what you see on DraftKings. The flagship contest on DraftKings is like 25% to first, where on Underdog it's 10% to first. Just so much better for sustainability. Those playing in those type of contests. So the one spot here, not sharp. Zach has gone Allen, Shakir, Amari Cooper. He's got Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, David Montgomery. I really like this build for the 1 hole. Back to me here. I think this is a spot where I can lean in potentially to Zay Flowers. Although by taking Zay Flowers here, I'm basically not going to take another Kansas City piece. I think that just probably makes my advance rate too thin. So let's talk through some of the other teams. The 2 hole has gone Lamar, James Cook, Travis Kelce, Rashad Bateman, Isaiah Pacheco, Nico Collins, Joe Mixon. So he's 8 players in now with Justin Herbert. Doesn't have a single NFC piece. Things you love to see, aka likely dead drafts. 3 hole has gone Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Mark Andrews, Kyron, J.K. Dobbins, Josh Jacobs, Matt Stafford, Keon Coleman. So not a whole lot of cohesion. That's the right word for the 3 hole as well. I mean, he's basically got a very thin, skinny stack with Hurts, A.J. Brown. Let me take a look at what I'm going to do here on my pick. I'm going to grab Justice Hill here just to kind of give me another option. Yeah, give me another option in for potential AFC Super Bowl or AFC Championship between Kansas City and Baltimore. Obviously leaning on Philadelphia in the NFC. Again, I've got Patrick Mahomes here, so I need to grab a second quarterback. I may lean in and grab Bo Nix here just to pair with Cortland Sutton, kind of play for a little bit of that upside. Again, this is a 1 out of 6 advance, so we're really looking for upside on some of these pieces. It is difficult to advance these teams. Let's talk through some of the others. Well, I'm not really worried about taking a third quarterback. Certainly one that would be completely uncorrelated. 3 hole here. He's got, again, Philly, very skinny. He's also got the Rams. and he's got 1 Raven, 1 Buffalo. So like right now, this is a dead build as well right now, unless I'm seeing something incorrectly. Our friend here, Spinosaurus, assuming he's going to try to take a thin Kansas City piece here to be able and to build a double bye week. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind this. He goes Gibbs, Amon-Ra, ends it with DeAndre Hopkins and Kareem Hunt with Goff. He's got some strong one-off pieces here between Puka Nacua, Bucky Irvin, Terry McLaurin, paired it with Jaden Daniels and Jalen McMillan. Spino, I think this is an outstanding build from the 4-hole if you are listening. And then the 6-hole goes Derrick Henry, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Mike Evans, Jordan Addison. So really leaning in here with Minnesota, playing it as a Baltimore build with Henry and Likely. Yep, I don't mind this either. Added a second quarterback with Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield. Not something you certainly needed to do, because if Minnesota gets eliminated, like, this team is dead. So I don't know that you need to do that, but I get it. How often would you draft Lions offensive linemen if they're classified as tight end? Probably 0% of the time. Like, the only week that would be a potential viable score, I know you're making a joke, is the Super Bowl, like 1 catch for 3 yards and a touchdown, 7 points, like not really anything that I think is going to factor in even in the conference championship games. Do you do any best ball on DK? I do some, not a lot. I prefer the underdog format. I prefer 10 players to 12. I prefer not being forced into a tight end. But again, that's just me. Donnie says, "Hey, Donnie, thanks for tuning in." So we are from here. We're actually going to let's do one in the gauntlet. Got a couple more gauntlets I need to draft. So I am seeing it here at 83,750, and I am hopping into a gauntlet. And it is 3 of 6 filled if anyone wants to join along and draft with me. 4 of 6. So yeah, I don't mind the draft that I did here with Mahomes, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Barkley, and Goddard. That's got to be my Super Bowl. I don't mind that at all. I really do like what Spinosaurus was able to do in the 4-hole. Again, I think that was a super sharp build to try to make a double bye week teams. I think it's pretty thin, but I liked his approach. Come on, computer. So we have drawn the 3-hole here in this gauntlet. So this is a 2 of 6 advance. Can be a little bit more frisky on these builds. Half the room, I don't recognize any of these names. Not necessarily that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I don't know. Let's kind of see. I'm always a big proponent of not having a rigid plan as you come into a draft. But let's kind of see how the draft shakes us. If it goes Allen, Lamar Jackson, maybe we do something a little off the board at 3. Let's see. So I think in a contest like the Mitten 3 that we just did, you really want to be uber conscious of the seeds, just because not only are you 1 out of 6 advance in round 1, but then you are 1 out of 10 advance in round 2. So you're really going to want to have 8, 9, 10 live guys. Kind of honestly, 8 is probably the minimum that you'd want in the second round, because again, you have to be the best out of 10 teams to advance. So really want to try to give yourself as many active players. So I would be, in a lot of these contests, for example, like the Big Mitten, you could ignore that. That's like a 2 of 6, 1 of 4, 1 of 4 advance rate. Like there, I think you can be a little bit more aggressive. But in something like the Gauntlet, where you're 2 of 6, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10, like you really don't want players who are playing against each other in round 1. And I don't know that like I would draft 2 or 3 guys from like Detroit and 2 or 3 guys from Green Bay, because if Green Bay were to upset Philly, like they're going to Detroit round 2, so it's not even a potential of you being able to get be able to get that in the AFC Championship game. Snowman is back again today. Hopefully we have better luck tonight. I'm in the next one. Snowman, I will do my best. I will pull it up on screen. I will wait for a clean room in the Gauntlet, and we will try again. We will try again today. So, start off Amon-Ra here, taking a shot at not starting off with a quarterback from the 3-hole. End up having all 5 of the key quarterbacks taken. So had started off Amon-Ra, happy to either have Mahomes or Goff as a possibility. Both of them go. Take a shot on an AFC player in James Cook. And then I think from here you kind of have 2 options for me on how I want to approach this. Either I go Puka Nacua here, try to build out the Rams, I think is a very viable way to go, or I go Mike Evans here and try to grab Bucky Irving at 22. It's got an ADP of 27. I don't mind that approach as well. Jaden Daniels season says copy paste dates. Copy paste. Thank you for joining us again today. Maybe we'll get you in a draft with me. Are you doing any of these Underdog drafts? Copy paste. If so, what's your Underdog handle or screen name, whatever the proper nomenclature is for that? 1 hole here goes Allen, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones. I don't mind that. 2-hole Lamar, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Again, if you have Jalen Hurts here, I think it's always a mistake to not take A.J. Brown or Saquon Barkley if they're available to you. I think there's some merit at my spot there to taking Khalil Shakir and pushing Bucky Irving to try to get him to come to 27. It's got an ADP of 29. I considered it for a second. I don't mind if I lose Shakir to the Josh Allen drafter. I'm not as high on a lot of the Buffalo pieces as others. You've gotten in a couple drafts. I appreciate that. What's the name? I'll keep an eye out for you in the future. I just do the 3. Okay, well, we'll fire up a mitten draft next. You good with a mitten 3, or have you filled those already? What are we going to do here? Lad is kind of where I wanted to go with this. He's going for a full stack here. I'm gonna grab Kyron. Obviously, I don't have Nakua, but can easily fill this out with Cooper Kupp later. Get another kind of mini correlation there. So the one hole builds out Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Addison. He's got Allen and Shakir. I like that start for him. 2-hole Lamar Jackson, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Come back with Rashad Bateman, Lad McConkey. At the turn, don't mind that start for him. 6-hole Mahomes, Barkley, Kelsey, Xavier Worthy, Nico Collins, Terry McLaurin. Not really a whole. He's got the Mahomes double with Kelsey and Worthy. I like that. And then trying to figure out what he's doing in his NFC options. I'm going to grab Hollywood Brown here. Give me another option potentially for a Super Bowl. Likely try to grab a Bills piece and or a Kansas City piece late. Charles says, thank you for the daily content the last couple of weeks. Charles, you are very welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I'm enjoying it probably as much as you guys are. Let's take Jalen McMillan here. Try not to give anyone a reason to take Tampa Bay with Darnold and Jaden Daniels still on the board. I do have the 2 bye week guys with Goff and Mahomes out to my right still to pick. But with no Buccaneer piece on the board, with me having Evans, Bucky, and McMillan already, you wouldn't expect them to go that direction. Doesn't mean they won't, but you wouldn't expect them to. So if the one hole were to take a second quarterback, it would make the most sense for him to go Sam Darnold with a bunch of Minnesota guys already. Not that I expect him to do that, but that would be what would make the most sense. I'm going to grab Keon Coleman here. Give me a second Buffalo piece to go with James Cook. Columns ask suggestion on the Minnesota Buffalo teams to get different, or does that even matter? I would. So for me, if I'm drafting Buffalo, especially if I start Josh Allen, James Cook, to me, I'm okay with not getting most of their other pass catchers. I'm okay with just a third Buffalo piece, either Shakir or Cooper or Coleman, Dalton Kincaid late. I'm okay with that late. Josh Palmer being out is pretty big for Ladd, Quentin Johnson. I don't disagree. Not guys that are going to make this build. I've got a special, I definitely know how I want to try to land the plane on this one. So this is DeAndre Hopkins here. Now have 2 Kansas City pieces, 2 Buffalo pieces to go along with, hopefully, knock on wood, no one taking Baker Mayfield for no apparent reason, with no Tampa Bay players available. 5-hole and 6-hole both have 2 quarterbacks already, so willing to kind of really take a gamble here. And really push quarterback to the 10th round. Maybe the first time you've ever seen anyone in the gauntlet push quarterback to the 10th round, but I felt like that made the most sense for this particular build. Colin, I'm going to come back to your question here. Yeah, so to me, I think a good way to differentiate is really going to be just your, we'll call them your one-off pieces, your ancillary pieces outside of Buffalo and Minnesota pieces. That's going to be what helps you advance. So, to me, instead of maybe taking Shakir or Addison on this build, maybe you don't take either, and maybe you kind of grab some stronger pieces, whether it's maybe Puka Nacua available, or Kyron Williams, or Ladd McConkey. Like, to me, I would rather take those and be okay with only having 3 Buffalo pieces. So we made it through unscathed. Baker Mayfield is ours. So we've built let's make it a little bit bigger. We've got a Baker, McMillan, Bucky Irving, Mike Williams, Tampa Bay team. Do have Amon-Ra St. Brown as a potential NFC championship piece, so I do like that. We're able to kind of pair it up with James Cook and Keon Coleman, or DeAndre Hopkins and Hollywood Brown. So it gave me some pretty clean Super Bowls, and have a one-off here of Kyron Williams, just another running back option, as running back does tend to thin out later in the draft. So happy with this build. I think we've talked through the other teams. So let me see. Where's my man, Snowman? Snowman, hoping to have better luck tonight. Well, Snowman, let's give it a go again in the gauntlet. Don't enter yet. So it is at 83,884. Hold on, I got to get out the calculator. 83,886 divided by 6 is a completely clean room. So if you are, let's wait for the next one. Let's wait for the next one, which would be 83,92, I believe. 83,892 divided by 6 is a completely clean room. So when this says 83,892 or higher, hop on in and we'll try to get into the same room together and draft together on stream. I don't mind waiting for it to get there. I don't want to miss it and you to get backed out. We're up to 90, 91. So as soon as you see 92, all right, hop in. 3 of 6, 4 of 6, 5 of 6, man, less than 48 hours till playoff NFL football. Some of the best times of the year. And we got golf going. Love that for me. I've got the 1 hole here. It appears that Snow has got the 3 hole, if I'm guessing that Snow 1021 is our friend Snow. Yep, same names. Perfect. Hey, look, Snow, we made it happen this time. Hopefully you don't snipe me too many times. You're in. Yeah, I see you there in the 3 hole. Send some good players my way. So I had a question yesterday after the stream ended, was asking, do I ever not take Josh Allen at 1? And the answer for me is no. I always take Josh Allen at 1 because you will be, other people do it and you will get other combinations just later at the 2 hole, at the 3 hole. Sometimes, I've gotten Josh Allen at the 4 hole this week. Like, it's intriguing. And I think it's a minus EV way to just not take Josh Allen at 101. Board thoughts off pretty standard here. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. See what Cole Cullum does. I believe you are in this in the chat as well. C Cullum 80. Got a couple of you drafting with me today. Love that for all of us. If you haven't already, please go ahead down there, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you don't already. If you are part of the 1 week season fam, thank you for tuning in. If you've caught me from some of my work over on DFS Mastermind or with the Degenerate 75 talking golf or stuff with Tyler Tamboline from Ship It, appreciate you spending some time with me here this afternoon. Six hole goes Barkley, Mahomes. 5 hole Henry, Goff. Interesting. 2 hole Lamar, Justin Jefferson, Rashad Bateman. 3 hole gets a dream start. Our man Snow with Hurts, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. Really get all of the Eagles there. Love that for you. See Cullum, tough decision here, getting sniped with Jared Goff here. Always tough to kind of decide what you want to do, so I'll be curious to see which direction you take this. Leaning into Travis Kelce here. So we'll be curious if Raise It goes Worthy Goddard. or if he tries to push Goddard to 30, 31, I don't think he'll be there, but he might. I don't know. Five hole goes Henry, Mark Andrews to pair with Jared Goff, Sam Laporta. 4 hole Gibbs, Amon-Ra. He goes Kelsey. He adds Puka Nacua. Probably going to try to build out a Rams build. Snow takes my man Shakir. Knows that my heart is not sad about that. HG Wiggles goes Lamar, Jefferson, Bateman. Probably like to see him take Aaron Jones here. I'm going to grab Bucky Irving here. I'm going to really lean into running backs. Probably won't take another running back the rest of the way. Can lose the word probably. I won't take a running back the rest of the way. Two holes able to grab Zay Flowers. Got a real strong start here with Lamar, Bateman, and Zay Flowers to go along with Jefferson and Aaron Jones. I like that from HJ Wiggles. 3 hole Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Goes Khalil Shakir, adds Kyron Williams for a running back. I do like that, as running back does tend to thin, especially when someone has 3 of them through 5 rounds. I won't mention any names. Five hole Henry, Goff, Laporta, Andrews, Evans. And raise it 77 from the 6 hole goes Barkley and Goddard. He's got Mahomes, Xavier Worthy, adds Terry McLaurin. Be curious if this is Hollywood Brown here. Takes Addison. So this is probably a spot where, not right here, but for like the 2 hole in HJ Wiggles, like if you want to have TJ Hawkinson, like I know that his ADP is further down here at 44. But if you don't take him at 38, like I'll give you a hint, I'm not taking him probably. If you don't take him here at this 6-7 turn, the guy who took Addison sets him up with another AFC or NFC piece. Obviously, he's got Barkley, Goddard. He's going to want to take Hawkinson. So to me, like that should be for sure a as I promised, no more running backs from this team. So I think that likely their HG, who's probably not tuning in, is a mistake. If I'm raise it, I'm taking TJ Hawkinson 42, 43. Snow goes, adds Hollywood Brown. I like this. Probably see him grab another Kansas City piece at 46. Likely Kareem Hunt, DeAndre Hopkins. I think that's the right play at that spot. Probably Kareem Hunt if he's there, give you another running back. I think in hindsight, I would prefer to start with Hunt here and then take whichever of Hollywood Brown or DeAndre Hopkins it would more likely to be available at 46. For some unknown reason, Raise It did not take Hawkinson. So, HG, you may get lucky and get him to come back to you. Now the question is, do I take him? Because I'm still going for one-off wide receivers here. I don't need both. I'll take Amari Cooper. I'll take Cortland Sutton here. Call him. I love you waiting till the final round to take a quarterback. I assume it's Stafford. No, the question here is, do I want to take Mac Hollins or do I take an uncorrelated piece like Quentin Johnston? I don't think there's any other viable pick. I'm going to take Quentin. I think that he could very easily get out of that round. Fam, let's talk through the board here. 6-hole goes Barkley, Mahomes, Worthy, Goddard, Kareem Hunt, Keon Coleman. So he's got a Mahomes, Worthy, Kareem Hunt. So he's got 3 Kansas City pieces. He's got 2 Philly pieces for that Super Bowl. Gave himself Hawkinson and Addison, gave himself another option there. So I like that as well. Took a second quarterback. Got more than one running back. I like this build from the 6-hole. 5-hole went Henry, Goff, Laporta, Andrews, Mark Andrews, Evans, McConkey, Patrick. Real early on Tim Patrick, but I guess you got to get your guy. Baker Mayfield, Sterling Shepard, that's super thin. And Brian Robinson, just as a second running back. Yeah, I don't love this build. I guess you are a Detroit with Goff, Laporta, and Tim Patrick. Or kind of Baker, Evans, Sterling Shepard, which is real thin. Kind of hoping for a Baltimore Super Bowl with Henry and Evans. Okay, so live. Colombo was able to salvage this with a Stafford, Cup, Nakua build. Was one away from getting Kyron there and really being able to salvage this. Got that. Would hope that they'd be able to play Detroit in the NFC Championship and then face Kansas City with Kelsey, Hopkins. Yeah, I don't mind that. Able to kind of salvage that. Thanks for the feedback. Been having a bad few drafts, which I learned from with some good ones too. Yeah, I mean it's a numbers game. To me, I think, and people will have different opinions here. When you get to 9 and you see that this build is blocked, personally, I don't take Amon-Ra St. Brown here. I'm working on, maybe I'm taking Puka Nacua here, and then I'm able to take Kyron Williams in this round. Like I'm willing to give up something I know is a sunk cost. Like I'm not going to keep doubling down on Detroit because one, not only are you not building that stack, but Detroit are bye week pieces for round 1. So you're making it even more difficult on yourself to get out of the round because you've got Gibbs and Amon-Ra. Then you went and gave yourself the option of DeAndre Hopkins and Travis Kelce. So you're basically playing sort of shorthanded with 6 guys the first round, but you don't have the added benefit of that being a potential Super Bowl matchup because you don't have Goff or Mahomes. So to me, once this goes at 9, my opinion is I drop Detroit. I may add another piece later, like I wouldn't be opposed to Montgomery or something like that here in the 5th, 6th round. But I'm not using such high draft capital on basically a sunk cost. 3rd round, let's talk about Snow here in the 3 hole. He goes Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I love that start. Adds Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid. I like that. Give himself a Buffalo. Super Bowl was able to add Kenneth Gainwell, who I think is an essential piece on Hurts builds if you don't have Barkley. So I really like that. He's got Hollywood Brown, Noah Gray. I like that. Yeah, you gave yourself multiple options for the Super Bowl. A little thin potentially at running back, like Najee Harris likely losing in round 1. Kyron Williams, they could go either way, but after the first round, like this team could be basically with just Kenneth Gainwell as your only running back. To me, that's the only weakness on this build. 2 hole goes Jefferson, Bateman, Aaron Jones. So leans into here Minnesota a little bit. He's got Baltimore with Lamar, Bateman, Flowers, adds Likely. I like that. And Justice Hill. So really leans into that. And then gives himself another NFC out with Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed. Like, so to me, if you're really leaning into that here and you've taken Justice Hill, like I don't take Keaton Mitchell here. Like I'd rather see you take Romeo Dobbs, Dontavion Wicks. Like give yourself another build for the Super Bowl. So let's fire up one more of these if you guys want to do it. I'll do one more in the gauntlet. Let me fire it up here to drafts. Come on over to the gauntlet. Do not click enter just yet. We got 84,057. Kind of a 6 is halfway there. So we want it to be 84,060. So now is a clean room. Let's hit enter. We got 3 of 6 filled, 4 of 6 filled. So if you want to draft with me again, get some feedback, talk through, We got one open spot left in this room. Six of six filled. Snow is in here again with me. 2 drafts in a row. Snow, what are we going to do with ourselves? Snow in the 5-hole sniping me all day. Yours truly, StatATL in the 6-hole in this draft. This will be the last draft of the day for us today. Again, we are drafting in Underdog's Gauntlet. It's a 2 of 6, 1 of 10, 1 of 10 advanced structure. So keep that in mind as you draft through. Snow says, "Oh, the 5 and the 6 holes." Yeah, you know that's how it goes. You know, you get some of every spot. Starts off pretty standard. Oh, I spoke too soon. Saquon Barkley goes 2nd overall. So as I was saying, there's no need to divvy up what you do from the 1 and 2 holes with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. They are the clear 2 best options, in my opinion, at those 2 spots. But plenty of times you will get people who will take Gibbs or Barkley or Jalen Hurts in the 1 spot or the 2 spot. Unfortunately, Snow, you or I weren't there in the 4 or 5 spot to take advantage of Hurts potentially falling. He goes Mahomes. I'm gonna gamble from the 6 hole. It is a gamble. It's probably a minus EV play, but I'm going to go for it. The 3 hole here, Ty Cal is like jumping up and down that he may get Derrick Henry. So to me, borderline, that is a mistake every time. You should take A.J. Brown every time in that spot. This is a no-brainer for the 2 hole. This has got to be A.J. Brown every time. With Jameson Williams off the board, there's no reason for you not to do that. Take Sam Darnold. I would expect the 101 here to take A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. I feel like I would go Amon-Ra Goff with that board and then take Monty later. Pepperatoni, that is definitely the safer approach. Snow is considering what to do here. To me, it doesn't make sense to take James Cook. This is a super unique build that I'm going to have here, and I'm going to have to probably not comment as much going through to make sure I don't F it up. strong possibility that, you know, if it is Buffalo Detroit in the Super Bowl, this could be the winning build. And just think, 253 of you between Twitter and YouTube could be watching this live. Haven't seen this yet. Me either. And I've done 400 or 500 of these drafts. But again, still got to land the plane. What a start. Yeah. It's probably because you guys didn't get in this room with me here. So thanks for sitting it out, fellas. Sucks when you know sometimes you can get golf later. Depends on how willing you're to burn an entry or not. Yeah, I mean, I think you should be. I think you should. Muddy River says, good luck, good luck. Even one dual watching. Wow. You're watching on both. Thank you, Bestball on call. Don't forget to like and subscribe, my brother. I appreciate you. So this is a build where I am unlikely to take Kansas City pieces. In my opinion, this is one where I need to just build this out of Detroit, Buffalo. I don't need to go crazy in my mind. I'm okay with it only being 5 pieces because I'm going to have such a unique pairing between Gibbs, Amon-Ra, and Cook. Like there's probably 10 rosters maybe in this entire contest that have those 3 together. So this is one where I'm honestly not super worried about what to do with additional stacks. Yes, I realize that Houston and LA are playing each other. If someone hasn't really been following the playoff best ball markets and such, are there 2 to 3 heuristic guide principles you suggest someone looking to get 200 down? Yeah, Sean, thanks for asking that question. Down in the description of this video, you will see a link to both a YouTube video and a written article that I have put out regarding playoff best ball kind of do's and don'ts, high level strategy, just really an overview. Just a high level overview of best ball and just my thoughts on it in general as someone who has taken down this flagship contest before, just last year. The Houston LA pair is okay at 2 of 6 advancing rate, but not 1 of 6. In my opinion, yes, I'm okay with losing 1 or 2 players. It does help, I guarantee, at least those. I probably won't stack up another Houston or Charger piece here. Certainly not 2 more, maybe 1 more where maybe I add like Quentin Johnson late and hope that the Chargers beat Houston and I'm only losing Nico, who I think I could get a strong score from this round. Sean, thank you for tuning in. Happy to help. What the heck is the one hole doing? Dude, I haven't been following along. I've been trying to answer your questions. I've been ignoring the board a little bit on this board. Trying not to do too much of a happy dance on this start. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm messing up the landing a little bit here, fam. I wasn't expecting the 2-hole to just grab Darnold like that. Yeah, I mean, that was wild. If you get Jaden. Yeah, buddy, I mean, I couldn't take him. I didn't feel like I could take him here at this turn. This team right now is kind of thin on wide receivers. Snow does me a solid. Doesn't take Cortland Sutton. Would have been. I would have had to go Pickens or Romeo Dobbs, which I guess are fine. We're gonna go a little crazy here, fam. Go big or go home, as they say. We're going Bo Nix. Cup was the way to go. Yeah, I mean, I felt like kind of Cup and then taking Stafford here instead of Nix was probably the safer approach. But I really think I think that Nix is better than people think. I think he's going to give Buffalo a decent game on Sunday. That game's Sunday, I think. Does your final projected points have any bearing as compared to your build structure? No. It's not a game of picking players. I think that's a common misconception. Same with like DFS. Like the structure of the lineup and the build is so much more important. And paying attention to like, can a team actually win? So, let's do one more gauntlet. You guys want to do one more in the gauntlet? I'm feeling good after that team. Found a way to F it up at the end, but it could still get there. It's still live. So I'm not clicking just yet. Let me do my little math. Are you doing any extra streams before lock? I'm going to do one tomorrow at 5. Every day live at 5. And then on Saturday, I may do one at like noon or 1 p.m. Eastern. Just kind of depending on fill rates of the contests. 84,207 divided by 6 is halfway. So 210. Once this hits 84,210, we hit enter. So if you've got it open, as soon as you see it get above 84,210, we're good to go. 84,210, let's go. 2 of 6. Or you guys could stay out and let me start off with that ridiculous start again. So we're 3 of 6 here. I don't see. Sorry, fam. It's not cooperating. Ken, you are very welcome. If you are not familiar with what I'm talking about in terms of the build structure and things of that nature, again, down in the description, check out. I've got a link to a video as well as a link to a 1 week season where I do a lot of contributing both on the Bestball space and the DFS space. You can sign up for free. You can get access to the Discord. And then you can also get access to my Underdog Playoff Bestball article, which is linked in this video as well. Great, 10, 15-minute read before you do some drafted. Jared says, what's up? He's in the 5 hole. I will try. We're both in decent spots. So I prefer the 5 hole, honestly. I think 4-5 is my favorite spots on these boards. So looks like we're going to start with Lamar Jackson here. Couple folks commenting in the first time. I don't recognize your name. If it's your first time here, please like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching along with me. For some of you drafting along with me. Lorenz takes Derrick Henry. Ruins the dream of me potentially getting a Lamar Henry start. I would take AJ Brown here, Jimmer, if you're listening to this. He takes James Cook. We're going to take Amon-Ra here. This will likely be a Baltimore-Detroit build. Six-hole Gibbs, Mahomes. 5-hole, our friend Jared Lawrence goes Derrick Henry, Puka Nacua. I liked that when you saw that you did not get Mahomes there, you didn't try to force Jared Goff. If you wanted to do that, I probably would have taken either Amon-Ra there or Jameson Williams. Try to get him to come back to you. Hold on, I'm on the clock here. What are we going to do? I'm going to take Jameson Williams. I'm going to really lean into this build. MPL grabs Worthy and Kelsey to go along with his Mahomes stack. He's got Gibbs. Be curious to kind of see. He's probably someone that if I would expect Jimmer here to grab Laporta. He grabs Shakir. Not sure I understand that. Yeah, we're gonna live on the edge. Yeah, no, Jared, I don't mind your approach at all here. One hole goes Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison. Takes Bucky, which is who I wanted for no apparent effing reason. Things you hate to see. We're going for it here, fam. I like that from MPL. Grabs Laporta. He's got a 5-man build now between Gibbs, Mahomes, Kelsey, Worthy, Sam Laporta. So I'm going to be fighting for him for one-off pieces since I only have one active player through 5 rounds, or 2 active round 1 players is all I've got. This guy took Bateman. Like, I really didn't want to reach for Zay Flowers, but I'm going to do it. So that is likely the end of my bye week players. Got 4. I don't think Zay is going to play this weekend. I think that was the latest news. So I am taking an uncorrelated piece, but I need a round 1 running back. NPL does not currently have a round 1 running back. Has to take Josh Jacobs there. I respect that move from him. Lorenz keeps taking my Ravens. Can't say I approve. Jared, you're welcome to watch. You can see who I put in the queue. It's pretty straight. To me, it's generally pretty straightforward. Like, to me, I've got 4 guys. I've got buys here between Amon-Ra, Jameson, David Montgomery, Zay Flowers. I'm going to be playing this round short, so I'm literally just firing at guys. Would have preferred Isaiah Likely had come to me at 46, but no harm, no foul here. Well, no harm, no foul if I could get Justice Hill. If I don't get Justice Hill, I'm pretty annoyed. I guess I could take Nelson Aguilar, but who else has Ravens? I know this is going to seem really counterintuitive to you. Should I do this? Yeah, I'm going to do this. I think, wow, why the fuck would you take him? You have no other Baltimore piece. Can't pick stupid, I guess. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 live. I know you weren't. Jared says I wasn't taking Hill. Yeah, I figured you weren't taking Justice Hill just because you already had Henry. That wouldn't make sense. And the 4-hole nor the 6-hole had a single Raven, so I wouldn't have expected him to take Justice Hill here. Certainly when he's already got Barkley and James Cook, both of which don't have a bye. Like, that was, in my opinion, dumb. What am I doing here? We're going to take Nelson Aguilar instead of Keaton Mitchell. All right, fam, I think that's going to do it for me today. Appreciate you tuning in. What do I want to do? I just want to make me full. Remove. Appreciate the 200 to 300 of you who are watching live at different points of the stream. Thank you for tuning in. I will be in again tomorrow at 5. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for your comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And have a good night.
1 week season.